Great Nature deck list 2024, the spring. Really excited to show you guys this list. We'll separate these two right here and go right into it. So I do run a copy of Beginning Hyrax. Beginning Hyrax is obviously just a normal starter from Viera. Does look really pretty though. I'm gonna kind of just organize this out here. For grade 3s, I run 4 copies of Big Belly, 3 copies of Magic Scientist Tester Fox, 3 copies of Talented Rhinos, and a copy of Amazing Professor Big Belly. These cards are all really strong, and our main unit in the deck is Big Belly. You want to ride him basically always on grade 3. Magic Tester Fox isn't horrible, but you typically just always want to see Big Belly. You never want to ride these ever, absolutely ever. These are always just dedicated rear guards, and I only run 3 of Fox. Fox is broken. This is such an amazing addition to the deck the moment this was released, which was I think over a year ago now, but this and its grade 2 counterpart, its Legion mate, are just disgustingly good. So yeah, really good stuff here. The grade 3 line is all really tight, and all these cards are fucking stupid. For Spoolmary, I run 4 Crayon Tiger and 3 Researcher Fox. So these all have a lot of usage throughout the game constantly. Spoolmary is what you always want to ride on grade 2. You always want to ride this because it's a free body when it floats when you ride Big Belly. Crayon Tiger is just a Great Nature legend. This is amazing. It restands and gives power for 1 counterblast if boosted. It's amazing. And then Researcher Fox is the new powerhouse card of the deck, using cards like Mana Garner Arum, which mills 4 cards, which immediately makes it a 29th stick. And then it has its own effects, and then can get a free 10k with the Tester Fox, and then you can draw a card, and you can also counterblast and search whatever grade 3 you have on Van, so it can make sure you have your Big Bellies for next turn, or get you a second Tester Fox, or just anything really, any of these other cards. Get you a Talented Rhinos if for some reason that's on your Vanguard. But yeah, moving into grade 1s, I run 4 Big Belly. We need to make sure we always see, Mini Belly, we need to make sure we always see our Big Belly. And then I run 4 Mike's Burrow. Card is crazy. And then I run 3 Pangolins. So label Pangolin's actually crazy. This is our countercharger of the deck. It frees up all of our counterblasts, and you could sometimes even flip like 3 shit per turn with that card because it's crazy. You can just give something and then keep restanding it, and due to its ability, it can just keep countercharging. So yeah, I've had that take me out from like 4 counterblasted damage into 4 countercharge damage, and it's a good feeling. Mike's Burrow searches for any grade 3, which is crazy. I'm on retirement, and yeah, that is the monster lineup for this deck. Space is very tight, but it's really good. I think I got this deck down to a science. I've been testing it so much for a pretty long time, and yeah, this is a really good list that I'm pretty confident in, and pretty proud of just kind of like developing. But yeah, we'll go into the trigger lineup. So from here, I just run this line, which is a 7 crit, 4 draw, 4 heal, 1 over trigger. I guess you could switch this for this. You could run a 4th, and you could swap the pony, make 3 pony, and run 4 Inashima, because this card does come up a lot. But this also just gives powers, can make some crazy deadly lines and numbers, and then yeah, the rest of the stuff is pretty self-explanatory. So we'll get into the G zone. Looking into the G zone, my quick shield ticket. I run 3 Caladrius. This card is cracked. There's some games where I don't even go into it. That's pretty rare. And there's some games where I go into it once, and then there's other games where I can literally go into it 3 times in a row, and it's just stupid. But this card is always a stride you want to have on deck. I typically go into him every game. He's kind of a win con, but yeah, he's pretty insane. Crazy stride. 3 Blorals. I usually don't go into nearly enough of 3 of him, but you can always flip him up for other stuff. And late game, he's crazy. So he kind of just progressively becomes better if you play the grind game, and this deck can play the grind game really well. So 2 Mana Garner Arum. This card goes insanely well with the Researcher Fox, the grade 2 Researcher Fox, because that card gains 5k per each mill, and this mills 4k for a single counterblast. So especially when you have 3 of them on board and you do this for a single counterblast, you can give 20k to 3 units, and then that's disregarding his actual ability, which is then on top of that, if it's a normal card, it's 10k, and if it's a trigger unit, it just gets a drive. So typically I'll, you know, get either 1 trigger and 3 non-triggers, or 2 triggers and 2 non-triggers, and which basically just means that this is swinging with 5 drives, and I can give an additional 20,000. The real win con of this deck is this with Talented Rhinos, though. Talented Rhinos is absolutely busted, and if you use this with Talented and restand him and give him 4k, they basically can't guard with anything outside of Heal Guardians, and given the likelihood of that, when you're restanding him too, it's basically a win condition, and it's insanely broken, and it's really fucking good, and I love playing it. And yeah, anyways, this is a good card for not decking out and other kind of just niche reasons. I don't usually go into him though. This is Zoa. Don't usually go into this either. We're usually playing our bread and butter Great Nature cards. And then I run 3 Ardillo, and this card might have been banned. I think this card just got banned recently, so I would just switch another Spangled for another Ardillo. Ardillo's crazy, and it's stupid, and I love this card. And with Big Belly, it's just like a straight-up custom card, because you could just completely nuke your whole field, and especially your boosters after, because typically your main monsters will get retired already and get you draw advantage off the Big Belly. But Ardillo, yeah, this card is nuts. He always turns any of your dead units into just a free draw. This deck draws so much, you could have a hand of 20 cards, and it's not even that out of the ordinary. But hope you guys did enjoy this video. I love this deck. This is one of my favorite decks ever. It's genuinely got an amazingly endeared spot in my heart. Caladrius. I love Caladrius. Caladrius is our newest addition anyways too, so I'm a little bit hyped about him. He's just fucking crazy. But yeah, this deck is amazing, and I recommend it if you haven't built Great Nature. This is a great list to start with. You'll totally understand kind of how the deck works and functions. This deck too, I just feel like has come a long way, and I've developed it a lot through a lot of testing, and I like the numbers, I like the ratios. It can restand a lot, it's resilient. It can kind of win out of nowhere, so this deck weakness is basically in the early game. It doesn't have much of an early game. It's turn 1, turn 2 can be pretty basic. It could be just a mini belly, unboosted mini belly swinging for 8, or it could be your second turn would likely be this is a good second turn too, is a Spool Mary, and just swinging Spool Mary for 9, which is not very strong. So those first 2 turns are rough, but starting turn 3 when you get Big Belly going, and especially when you get your strides going, like it's just straight goo. It's the fucking goo. It's crazy. This deck can honestly pop off and win games just out of nowhere really easily, honestly. Nothing's ever easy, but it's got some crazy kind of win conditions that can take people off guard. And then not only that, you're swinging like 7-8 times a turn every single turn, and then some of these are massive attacks. A lot of them are always over 25-30k, and then some of them have, you know, Talented Rhinos effects where you can only guard, it's guard restricts, and if you do that with Arum, basically if you use fucking these cards, I'll show you a couple cards that go really well together. If you use these cards, let me show you you can, Talented Rhinos, Managarm Arm, use this effect. No, this is not Arm actually, this is just normal Managarm, this is the OG. Counterblast, give 2 people this effect, and only 4k, so it's a little bit of a dated effect, but with this it's actually perfect, and it doesn't matter at all, and it's actually cracked. So you basically give Talented Rhinos the ability, and now if he's on a normal Force or XL1, which I usually give in this deck, he's already gift 25k, now he's 29k if you restand him, and if he swings again, you can't call with grade 0s, and you can't call with greater 1 higher, so you literally need to ditch and Heal Guardian, or there's just nothing you could really do to stop that. And it has that to the end of the turn, so you could just keep restanding it with Crayon and with the grade 3 Big Belly, and it's just crazy, and it's pretty easy, and especially if you have a reverse Pangolin on it, you swing with him, countercharge, swing with this, swing with him again, countercharge, swing with this, swing with again, countercharge, swing with this again, countercharge, and you basically have a net nothing, a net 0 on the countercharge, and go into next turn doing the same thing. You'll have retired probably like 5-6 units and drawn a shit ton of cards. This deck is really fun. If you want to see it in action, let me know in the comment section. I'll definitely show you guys how to play this deck. It's just genuinely one of my favorite decks ever. This is Prime Peak Vanguard right here, and I absolutely fucking love to see it. If anybody wants to start playing Premium too, I kind of want to set up a group. We could start playing remote fights over Premium. I think Premium is a really cool format that has a lot of unexplored shit, and I think I hope more people, due to the Jewel Knight stuff and the Raging Form deck coming out, like can find Premium and give it a try, because I think once people give it a try, it's like a drug. It's so fucking fun. I have 3 Premium decks, and I use all of them so much more than any other thing that I own, and I own so many decks, and just Premium Vanguard has just been a lot of fun recently. But anyways, I won't waste any more time. Hope you guys enjoyed. Super Chase, I'm out. Peace.